Hey, y'all. Welcome to More Lovin', the podcast that brings more laughter, light, and love into everyday life. I'm your host, Leanne Austin, and together we'll rediscover the beauty of connection to your body, your mind, your spirit, and the people you love. Today's episode, number 220. Love will turn you around with Trent Straub. I love observing and connecting with people who bring more lovin' into their lives and relationships. It is so inspiring to see how each person does it in their own way. We have the incredible Trent Straub sharing some beautiful love and relationship insights with us today. All right, Trent, tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, of course, my name's Trent, as you said. I also go by the name DJ Skyrocker, probably the other name I'm most known for. In the past 5 or 10 years, I started DJing in the area and have done, a lot of different events. So that's my I consider that my fun job. Um, my my regular job, which is cool too. I work at an oil refinery here in Peachtree City. I'm working as a chemist at the moment, so that's a pretty cool job. One of those things in life that I didn't necessarily set out to do, but that's just kind of, where life led me, and that's okay. I've learned to, accept that about life and just make the most out of it. But yeah, I'll be 52 years young and on April Fool's Day. So
Ah, I love
yeah,
it.
so that's yeah, just a little bit about me, right? Married, of course, as you know, and have 4 kids, two of my own, two stepkids, and they're for the most part all moved away, but we have one that still kind of lingers. But in fact, she'll be coming over tonight, I guess, just to say hello and spend the night and go to church with us tomorrow. So.
Oh, that's awesome. You got
So
to
yeah.
love those lingering kids, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, we pretty much just have one nowadays. So I guess you'd say fortunate, but we'll probably get into that more. You love family, and it's great to have the close connections as opposed to the far away physical connections. But I mean, you make the most of it, and you know where you can and how you can.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, when I met you, and I can't even remember how many years ago, and if you live in the Georgia area anywhere, have Trent be your DJ. Oh my goodness. I love that your name's DJ Skyrocker. That is so cool because he is the best DJ. Like he's done both two of our two weddings that we've had. He's done the receptions for those. He did a big party. I keep wishing we'd have another wedding or a big party so you could come over and DJ because you are phenomenal at that. So I love that you love to do a variety of things. That's really cool.
Well,
So
thank you.
all right. So, how do you bring more loving into your life and your business, and how has that impacted your relationships?
Well, I think when in regards to my business that we were just talking about that. So I was reflecting on that a little bit, and just the other day, a couple days ago, actually, I booked a wedding, and of course, when you talk to people, they either, you get connected with them, either I call them or they call me. However it works, you end up talking to each other, and they have questions that they want answered, and really, when it comes to my DJ business, it's all about like hearing people out, reminding myself that it's all about making them happy. It's not about what I want to do. And it's pretty amazing too, because I think that can go around. I don't really know how or why necessarily, but I hear from the customers themselves, the lady I was talking to, when I was talking to her, she was like, "Oh my goodness, it's such a relief to talk to you and to hear you sound like you're really chill and like not only relaxed, but also like, you're not telling me what music you're going to play at my wedding." And because I guess she was getting that, in some parts, and that kind of blows me away. But yeah, you have to like when it comes to your business, it's all about your customers. Well, I think most business owners will tell you that. It's not about what unless they want your opinion. Of course, I know that happens too, but and it happens in my business as well. There comes a time when they might turn the reins over to me and be like, okay, I trust you to, you can see the crowd or you know what the crowd is or is going to be. So, we trust you to kind of fill in the blanks. But for the most part, particularly, especially like a wedding, brides
Yeah.
have the way they want things done and a vision in their mind. And so it's all about, I think what I'm getting at is listening to people, you know,
Mm.
connecting
Hmm.
with people. Like it's just being open to other people's opinions. That's a big part of life and love. Like if you really love somebody, you have to be willing to hear them out.
Yes, I love 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 that. And I love that you do that because you're right. You are chill and I know me, I'd be like Trent, I don't care what kind of music, just play whatever. And you know how to do that because you do know how to listen and connect with other people and just like you said, hear them out. I think that is so key in just developing relationships with other people and your business. That's awesome. That is really cool.
Right? Yeah, it's all about to kind of get into another aspect of it. It's like selfishness versus unselfishness. Obviously a big part of not just business, but maybe in more particularly relationships, particularly family relationships, because it's those family relationships. I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more, but they're the ones that require the most effort. They're the
Yeah.
most rewarding, but yet at the same time they require the most effort. When it comes to other relationships, like your coworkers, for example, you can always, and I do, walk away from them at
Exactly.
10
Like
o'clock
I
every
don't have to
morning.
deal with you.
See
Yeah.
you later. We'll do it again
Yep.
tomorrow.
That's right. That
But
is so true. But
right.
families, it's developing that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the most rewarding connection too.
Mm.
So that's why I'm pretty sure that's why it works out that way.
A hun-
It's supposed to be that way. The most rewarding things in life usually do take the most require the most effort. But that's the thing, like with listening, is it doesn't mean you always have to be like working and trudging away at it all the time. In fact, sometimes, it's just the opposite. You just have to kind of sit back and observe and listen and
Yes.
the things that really don't require that much effort. Maybe in a sense they do. If you're if it's harder to listen, you want to give somebody your input or advice, but just listening is vital.
Yes. Listening is vital. I love that. I love that. Well, tell us what is something that you love about you and why.
Okay, I was thinking about it, and I think one of the things, well, there's several things I love about myself. Of course, my talents that, I was blessed with and that are a part of me. I really, really love and I'm thankful for those. But one thing that came to my mind was resiliency. I mean, and I'm really again thankful for that attribute that I think I've developed over time. And I say that, and it hasn't just been me. Resiliency is all about like also giving in to and letting other people in. Taking that advice that you need at certain times, and just handing your life over to as they say, a power greater than yourself. Sometimes even, that's what makes you resilient as well. It's not just about that. In the end, it's all about bouncing back,
Ah,
so and
yes.
that's helped me a lot in life because it's, as you know, I think a lot about the world we live in, and I think I'm part of the Gen X group. You think about being Gen X, and it's like sometimes it feels like I've lived like five different lifetimes at least. Maybe like seven or eight.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm like, wow. It's like I think back to when I was a kid. Is like that seems like another planet ago or two.
Yes, Yes, it does. Yes,
How
it
did
does.
yeah. And so, yeah, big part of resiliency too is just not, not making mountains out of molehills. It's just
Oh,
kind of roll with the flow and just like, let the rising and the setting of the sun can take care of a lot of things and just, doing what you can, doing what you can when you can and trying not to force too many things.
yes, yes. I love that you love things about you. Like it was just like, yeah, I love things about me because when we have compassion and love for ourselves, it makes it so much easier to love other people. So the fact that you recognize that and resilience is one of my favorite words. It's that bounce back factor that you talked about. Oh my goodness. That's key. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, we all, and I think everybody in the world needs to recognize that about
Hmm.
themselves, and everybody has that, within themselves. It's not like a, you know, unattainable characteristic for many. I
Yes.
mean, it's on the, instead, it's really, attainable for anybody. It's just a matter of letting yourself bounce back, or opening up your mind to different opinions and realizing that you can rise above and overcome challenges that come your way, all that stuff. And again, it's not easy. Yeah,
Hmm.
I have
Yep.
and again, going back to family, unfortunately, it's your family that sees you through the hard times. It's like it's
Mhm.
easy to say that, but when you're putting the work in, sometimes your family, like we talked about, someone that's going to help you, and so it can be a struggle sometimes with when you're trying to get it done. But again, if you don't try to, like I said, make mountains out of molehills,
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. Just, setting
Yeah.
goals, simple goals, little goals,
Yes.
lead to big goals. And yeah, so those goals
Yes.
are a big thing too.
Yes. I love it. Just those little tiny things. Oh, that's so good. Well, tell us when you think about connection with others or with yourself, either way, what comes to mind? Anything, I know you've mentioned a little bit, but anything specific comes to mind?
Right. Well, I probably was thinking about this the most often. It's like, because um, when I thought about it, my mind automatically envisioned like a piece of paper, and has to do in particular with today's day and age is Wi-Fi networks and radio towers and TV broadcasting signals, and how you have the main source and then you have the lines that extend out from each of the main sources, and in this day and age, it's like this is a great thing we're using, like Zoom, for example, the
Hmm.
internet.
Hmm.
Um, can the point I'm trying to get to is that, connections are everywhere around us. It's
Ah,
just a matter of who and what we want to connect to. And
yeah.
sometimes and it can be it's not an easy choice sometimes. Sometimes we end up, we can connect to something and not even realize we're necessarily connected to it mentally. And again, I think that has a lot to do with how things are in this day and age and with technology and things like that. So it's worth thinking about definitely what we're connecting to. Obviously, people are very important, but again, we need to decide
Mhm.
what people are the most important to us, and will be the most beneficial to us in the long run, and also what connections we can offer to others. Kind of going back to what we were talking about at the beginning with the DJ experience and things like that, make those meaningful connections, because it's yeah, there's a lot of things out there that we can connect with, a lot of good and bad.
Yes, yes. Well, and I love that you say like being intentional about what we choose to connect with. Like being, people and things. What are we intentionally connecting with?
Right.
And I love that your DJ experience in doing that, that does give people such a beautiful opportunity to connect because connecting through music, I think, is amazing. So I love that you share that because I mean, sometimes all we remember is a song. We don't remember like the lesson or the whatever, the teaching, the whatever, but we remember the song. So I love that you do that.
Oh yeah, and
Cool.
it's not only, I'm sure you've experienced it too many a times, but I've been thinking a lot lately. Again, with music is it's crazy. Talking about, with the more you've lived too, you can you can hear a song that, you from your youth, from the days of your youth, and it'll take me back to a particular time, a moment in time, which is some random place that's like really like, wow, it wasn't necessarily, you may not see it as a real memory in the sense that, a memory that you carried around with you at all times that you can access or that you do access all the time. But sometimes you just hear a song and it can like take you back. And I experience that a lot with music as well. It's one of the reasons I love music is, I can be in a challenging frame of mind, like a bad frame of
Mhm.
mind, and you can put on music and it'll instantaneously, help you out of whatever rut you might be in, or maybe even.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think music is a great nervous system regulator. It just calms you down, depending on what you're listening to. If you want it to, it can really help create some calm, safety in your world. So that's awesome.
That's why we
Ah,
do it at parties and
that's right.
at
That's
weddings
right.
and things like that.
All
It's
the
usually a part
fun.
of it.
Yeah.
Karaoke.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that reminds me. We need to do that again with my family. I'm glad you said that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, is there anything else to share, and where can my listeners go to connect with you more and learn more about you?
Well, I do have a Facebook page. Um, I don't know if you could share that. I don't want to
Absolutely.
spout it off, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
spout it off. Tell me the name of it, but I'll also put it in the show notes. But remind
okay.
me, is it
Yeah, it's just facebook.com/ DJ Skyrocker.
DJ Skyrocker?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
.com. So that's where I put all my photos and videos and that I've done of different events, and also, information that you can find on me. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything else you want to share?
No, no,
Okay.
I was thankful for to be on your podcast.
Ah,
The privilege.
it is so fun. And my favorite thing that I'm excited to talk about, our last question is, what's your favorite question or quote about love, and how has it shaped your life and relationship? I'm excited for this one. Tell us about it.
Well, again, I was like talking to my wife down this morning about mentioning to her again about how music is such a great source of inspiration, and so many songs about love, right?
Yes. Yes.
That I could mention, and I kind of just picked one out of the blue. Again, going back to days of my youth, that some singers that aren't around so much anymore, and one song in particular I was thinking of was by Kenny Rogers, and it's a song called "Love Will Turn You Around."
Yes.
And
Oh.
it's from a movie actually called Six Pack, and I don't remember seeing it. Like, I need to go back and watch it again. But
Mhm.
Kenny Rogers stars in it himself. He's actually a NASCAR driver, and he adopts six kids and orphans and makes them his pit crew. And during a NASCAR series, I guess, a season. So,
Oh,
and
I gotta watch that. That sounds
yeah, so
cool.
I have a blended family. I was adopted when I was born. So that's pretty cool, to that's why I'm kind of partial to situations and stories like that.
Mhm.
But that song "Love Will Turn You Around" is all about a man that's going along and, doing all that he can and thinking he knows what it takes to survive and get through life, and then out of the blue, you know, like a shiver to the soul, love comes and out of the blue and turns him around and kind of
Ah,
teaches him things that he never knew were possible. So
mhm.
basically, great song. Love will turn you around, Kenny Rogers.
Ah, oh my goodness, Trent. I think I'm gonna cry about this just because I'd forgotten that you were adopted, and just watching and just seeing your life's journey and what you've done and how you have turned things around. And when you told me that song, I was listening to it yesterday and I'm like, I forgot how much I love the song. Now I'm gonna go watch that movie too.
I'm
Because
going to as well. Yeah.
that that sounds so good, because it really, I mean, more loving is the turnaround. And that is definitely something to think about. That is the
Right.
turnaround. And I love that you exemplify that. I love that you've taken some really tough things and you've turned it around. You just decided to be resilient and add more loving in your life. And I'm so grateful for that. And the music and everything that you share, I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for sharing
You're
this with
welcome.
us today.
Thank you.
I love your insights and I appreciate all you do. So
Thank you. I love you and your personality and your husband too, and your whole family is uh, you have a wonderful family.
well, thank you, Trent. Sure appreciate you. And here's to love will turn you around.
All right.
Listening, connection, and more loving. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. If you're ready to take what we talk about here and make it personal, let's work together one on one. I'll help you calm your nervous system, strengthen your relationships, and create more loving, laughter, and calm in your life. You can find all the details at leanneaustin.com. Until next time, keep choosing fun, connection, and a whole lot more loving. Have a good one, y'all.